Most of my life, I was forbidden to do art. It seemed like I was always being told math and science, that is your future. So I ignored it for most of my life, thinking that was the right choice. I was plenty interested in math and science. And it wasn't until years later that I felt a need for art. At first, it wasn't so urgent. I would come into art and do a little, then I would back away, and I would come back in, and I would do a little, and I would back away, and I would come back in. Hot in there. And all of this time, I had a construction company, which was the way for me to make a living when I had a family. My name is Hank Waddell. I am a craftsman and a sculptor.
Woo! Never done it this way before, Mama. She's trying to grab me. I'll regret that the rest of my life.
I developed the skills and learned about the materials in the construction. And I had experimented with building furniture during that time. And once I found out I wanted to make art, I really had all of the skills of actually making a piece. But it took me a long time to call it art for myself, because I was still kind of insecure about it, or I didn't think I knew what I was doing, and people didn't realize that I had just started it, like, okay, I'm doing it 6 months, I've done 15, 18 pieces in 6 months, and people go, people didn't know me or where I came from, and would go, oh man, how long have you been doing this? Like it was like I was been doing it for a long time because I had those skills, and then all of a sudden I did it, and it looked good.
Hookah!
I've been building furniture since 1975. I mean, originally it was, construction debris, and, then developed in what they wanted and what they wanted and what they wanted. And so furniture building was my first introduction to aesthetics, which led to art eventually. And all the moving around from art to furniture to construction, I come up on some unusual requests. And one of these requests was with my favorite wood, which is live oak. And this latter piece, it is about my own childhood experience. We did a lot of climbing trees. It starts out as a ladder and ends up in stairs. The ladder is made out of live oak and found aluminum. I think live oak is the dream wood. Its strength, character, the way it moves around, it's unpredictable. It is about climbing a tree, and it's making it possible for more people who might not have. To me, it's a lot more difficult than this. This is pretty easy. You zoom up, zoom down. That's a lot of my work, is bringing a piece from outside inside. Taking it out of context and making you think about it more.
Yeah, it's going to be a good color, for sure. This is the color of the columns on the front of the house. It's kind of a color match for that.
Tree bones is a very simple process. I like that about it. It's all about the piece of wood. The process is just a repetitive 26 coats of paint. You know, you just set it up and every hour you go over, you shoot it again for a whole day.
A lizard in your pocket and you're just glad to see me.
They all kind of have some resemblance to something. If they don't, I see that in the beginning and I just don't paint it. But many times I painted things not knowing if it were truly there, and then I paint it and then I know, you know, oh yeah, well, it is. It just has to be painted first. Captain Kangaroo's best friend was named Mr. Green Jeans.
Yeah.
That's his name.
It's official.
Mr. Green's Jeans. That is official.
But it's a simple process, and I think but it's about the uniqueness of the piece of wood. That's the thing about finding pieces of wood, is you can't go look for them. If you go look, you'll never find it. It's like something that happens. Your path crosses with this piece of wood.
I like the color. I mean, I like it that dark. It doesn't, I thought it was going to be look a little bit more grayer. And if I had sprayed it with the first thing I thought it would be. You get that? I haven't even drilled through yet. All of that and not drill through? How did that happen? And I'm not hurt. That's the good news. I could have broke my neck. But there's always this anticlimactic moment. And it takes, you know, usually it takes 2 or 3 weeks or a month to get over the anticlimactic moment. But, you know, usually I do. Usually I realize I did the right thing, but it was so hard getting there that you would, you know, you put it in place and you expect it to be, you know, fireworks going off and, you know, flags waving and shit.
When I find the piece, the idea is right there, right in front of me. And so all I have to do is take the piece and complete it in such a way that that piece's idea is done. It's not complicated, you know. It's like you pick up the piece. Oh yeah, now I see. They're almost found objects, you know. Trees found in nature, and they needed something else to be done besides just dying and being eaten by bugs, you know. They need to be made into a piece of art.